All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Today we're going to dive into one of the best senior living communities around. That's Savannah Court in Maitland. Now, whether you're just starting your search for assisted living or you're looking for a specific service like memory care, or we're going to talk about the reasons why. So, first up, Respite Care. So, Respite Care is an absolute game changer for families. If you're not familiar, Respite Care provides short-term relief for primary caregivers, giving them time to rest, travel, or spend time with other family and friends. Now, if you're like most of us, that sounds nice. Okay, have a safe place for mom so we can go on vacation. But realistically, you might even just be talking about because you have to work. Sometimes our parents might be too sick for us to take care of, and so they might have to go somewhere, because we'll be working. So somewhere while they're healing, like this would be for a situation, maybe mom falls down and breaks a bone, needs some time to recover. They can't really get around too good in the house on their own. This could also be a good situation if mom gets out of surgery and needs some help, and there's no one around to take care of her on a daily basis and prepare all her meals for you because you have to work and you're with your family or whatever it is. If you're spending time a lot with your loved one, with your parent, and maybe they live with you and you want to go on vacation with the kids and they can't make the vacation, this would be a good option. Maybe a much more affordable option than doing in-home health care for the week or two while you were gone. We'll talk about that more a little bit later in a second. So one of the standout services Savannah Court offers is the Respite Care. Here's the thing, Respite Care is super hard to find as well. Savannah Court offers it. It's really one of the only ones I know in Orlando, and probably the only one I'd recommend right now to you. You can search Google for a long time, and there'll be different things, respite this, respite that. You call the place, and it's like, oh, no. So, but Savannah Court totally has it, and, it's definitely a good short-term solution when mom's not quite ready for a permanent move. But it definitely gives you a time to do what you need to do and maybe regroup for the future. The best part about the Respite Care is Gabby and the staff at Savannah Court are amazing at coordinating this. They're checking you in, they find out what medicines mom takes and this and that. It's a little bit more complicated than just booking a room at the Hilton for the night, right? Because there's going to be some care needs involved. However, the staff at Savannah Court is completely awesome, and they make everything way easier than it could possibly. Next up, we're going to talk about the day program that Savannah Court has. So the day program is super cool. Basically, you can drop your parent or loved one off for the day. They get to participate in all the activities that Savannah Court offers. You see some seniors right here doing a little bit of arm strength training, but there's also the bingo and the games and the music and arts and crafts, that type of stuff, but also just talking to people. One of the things they say about isolation is if you're just home alone and you live all by yourself, that isolation could be as damaging for your health as 15 cigarettes a day. It's something that you want to try to avoid, and this is a great way to do it. If your mom's not quite ready for full-on senior care, you're not ready to leave the house yet, but wants to just get out there more and engage with people, if she doesn't have a church group or something she's involved in, the day program here, super good. And unlike the church group, she's actually being watched. So if there's something that happened, if she fell down or needed assistance doing something, Gabby and the team are there to help. All right, now we come to the food at the Savannah Court. This is the first community I went to where a lot of the communities have really good food, right? They'll say, okay, well, we got this chef from this restaurant, and he's here now. He makes our menu. We have signature dishes. And, there's some really good food in senior living. But I've never been to a community where the staff bragged about their food as much as Savannah Court. So there's burgers and chicken sandwiches like this you can get every day. They also have their regular menu, rotating options like chicken, fish. They just have a good chef. And, it's good when the staff eats there at the center themselves, and that's what happens here. The staff is always constantly, they come to work to eat, and they love the food. So that makes me think that this would be a great place for my parents, because they, be able to eat like that. Here's the dining room. It's kind of nice, almost a little nostalgic, a little 90s vibe, in here. And, while they could update it, it really is kind of comforting for a lot of our parents. It's kind of their era. This is where they were doing a lot of traveling. It kind of resembles maybe like a Best Western or a Holiday Inn, something like that. Your parents might really feel comfortable with. It's not too clean and sterile. It's more that family feel. And many people actually come to Savannah Court from more expensive communities and they come here because it feels more like home. So it's just very, just the atmosphere is very calm and comfortable. And that's one of the great things Savannah Court offers that it's kind of hard to quantify or see on the internet, but coming in person, you can really get that feel. Attached to Savannah Court is Savannah Cove, is a rehab care and skilled nursing facility. So what that is if you think, so assisted living is when your parents need a little bit of help, right? Maybe they just need some help making their meals, getting into and out of the shower, doing their laundry, cleaning their rooms and stuff like that. Skilled nursing is more where they need help doing everything. They're basically halfway to the hospital or halfway out of the hospital on their way back to being able to take care of themselves, but they need different type of things, maybe like shots or IVs, that type of thing. Skilled nursing can provide that. The really cool thing about having Savannah Cove in the same area as Savannah Court, if residents need this higher level of care, they would be able to just go over to Savannah Cove, get the care they need for a couple weeks, and come back to Savannah Court, and in a wheelchair. It's not being transported to the other side of town or different neighborhood, different places where the resident might not be so familiar. So having this on site, it's super cool. It's just a higher level of care that the Savannah Court offers. So here's a location here. So Savannah Court, it's Maitland. If you're not familiar with Maitland, it's just to the northwest of Winter Park. Still in that nice suburban area, just north of downtown and about 10 minutes north from the heart of downtown, and just south of Altamont Springs. It's located right off I-4, so it's super convenient to visit. All right, so Savannah Court is an assisted living community. So here's how the numbers work out with that. Here's how the math works. So when we're talking about assisted living, we got to compare it to what mom's already spending her money on anyway. Right now, either she's probably renting an apartment or living in a home, and maybe there's a mortgage payment there. Maybe the home's already paid off. But even if the home is paid off, we're still talking about monthly expenses such as property tax, insurance, HOA fees, lawn cutting, outdoor maintenance fees, repairs for when things break like the toilet, or things that get old and need to be replaced such as the roof. If you're like most people, the actual living expenses for the roof over mom's head right now is around $2,000 a month. That's just for the actual rent and place to stay, place to put the rest of your head, right? Next thing up, we're going to talk about the food. So food costs could be anywhere from $400 to $1,000 a month, and easily more, depending on if your mom is going out to eat a lot, ordering Uber Eats, or having delivered meals brought to the house, meal prep services, etc. If mom's grocery bills are anything less than maybe $400 a month, that's also probably even a red flag. That's not that mom's just real practical with her money. Many times older people don't get proper nutrition because it's just too much effort to prepare the meals on their own, or too expensive to order out on a regular basis, or a lot of times seniors just start forgetting to eat at all. This is one of the reasons why people live longer in senior care communities, because they're constantly getting reminded to eat, so it's good. It's good to have a little bit more food budget. And that's one of the things senior living does, is make sure mom's actually getting the stuff she needs to eat. Let's see. Now that $400 to $1,000 number, you can adjust as necessary to fit your situation. But for the cost of groceries and ingredients, plus knowing somebody's going to be there to make that food for mom in a way that's hassle-free to mom, and giving her the chance to eat more and be healthy, that's worth $1,000 a month to me. Especially when you factor in the time and transportation costs to go to the grocery store or go out to eat. This number could even be higher. Also, we got to factor in her monthly expenses, utilities. Probably maybe around $250 a month on the low side. That'd be for the electricity, water, cable, gas, and the ever-important Wi-Fi. Another $250 for transportation. Some seniors will pay higher if they need to make payments on a car that they have. Plus, there'll be gas, insurance, maintenance. For some seniors, on paper, their travel expenses are zero because they don't drive. When you factor in those basic costs of everyday living that mom's spending right now anyway, it brings you about $3,500 a month. Now that's right around the price it costs in Savannah Court and Maitland for all your basic living expenses. Their smallest unit they have available right now is $34.95, and that's your own private residence with a private bathroom. And all the way up to $37.95 for a little bit bigger floor plan, but an extra 100 square feet to walk around, maybe put an extra couch and have just a little bit more sitting area. Now let's talk about the care, because with assisted living, there's two parts to the factor, right? So every assisted living community has a cost, what you actually pay for the room and board. And then they'll have something that's usually called the level care one, is just for the basics of extra care. Because this is not independent living. You don't come here when you're perfectly healthy. You need to have a little bit of care. So 500 is the minimum. And at Savannah Court, the maximum is about 1,500 for the assisted, for the extra level of care. That's level of care 3. So you can factor that all in for a total price of $4,000 to $5,500 a month. Now, assisted living isn't the correct choice if mom is operating 100% and living her best retired life. Assisted living is an alternative to living at home alone and spending money on life alert bracelets, monitoring system, money for meal prep, transportation services, money for house cleaning, and money for someone to come in from time to time to help mom with the shower, get the mail from outside, do the laundry, and just help clean up any other necessary things in her life. Paying for that type of care, it can get really expensive quick. Most of the prominent in-home health care services, such as Visiting Angels, charge around $35 an hour to start. Most people learn that these services aren't affordable long-term after a full weekend like we did. When my dad was really sick, we hired a caretaker from Friday night until Sunday evening so my wife and I could get a chance to get away for our anniversary. 42 hours times $35 an hour, or $1,470 later, we realized how fast $35 an hour adds up. One of the main reasons in-home care adds up so fast is that if your loved one, they can't be left alone even when they're sleeping. So that $35 keeps going all night long. And by the time they go to bed and wake up, you spend as much money as you could have sent them to Disney World for the day. And so that does get expensive. When that $35 starts getting expensive, when the $35 an hour gets expensive, that's when assisted living comes in and starts making a ton of sense. Paying $475 a month for level care 1, that's about 12 hours of somebody coming in for $35 an hour. And that's, half of one day? And this is for all month. So this is why assisted living makes a lot of financial sense. It's when you're going to be spending that money paying in-home health care for too many hours a day. And some of the in-home health care, when it's covered by Medicare, that's really great. But it won't be forever. And that's kind of more of a short-term thing. The different levels of care are really cool because that's one of the ways that the senior living companies make this accessible to more people. If they only said, hey, you come in, you need care, you pay $7,000 a month. Yeah, that would be beneficial for maybe. It'd be okay for somebody who needs a ton of care. But maybe your parent doesn't need that much care. Maybe they don't need $1,500 a month of somebody dedicated to just keeping them doing the shower and everything they need to do. Maybe they only need some minor care. And you can save, $1,000 a month on not having to pay for that extra levels of care. So being able to get a lower level of care is something really nice that senior communities and assisted living provide. So that way you can spend a little bit less than, if your mom doesn't need so much care. So long story short, this is assisted living at the Savannah Court in Maitland. You got the Respite Care here. You got the day program. You got Gabby and the amazing staff who actually cares. You got a super comfortable community that people leave the expensive communities to come to because it feels more like home. You got the awesome food that's so good, even the staff comes to work just to eat. And you have a really decent pricing. Savannah Cove skilled nursing on site. And all this for somewhere between $3,500 and $4,500 a month. That's all the meals included, prepared for mom, help with all the stuff she needs, getting to and from the doctor's appointments, and just a ton of stuff. And all the activities she has, all the friends she's going to meet, and all the fun she's going to have. So, very great opportunity, but if for nothing else, just for the respite care, find out more information, give me a call. Let's talk just about that. Everybody needs that, and it's very hard to find. Savannah Court has it. Give me a call, 321-291-2053. Or click the link below, set a time on my calendar, and we'll do a free consultation. We'll figure out if Respite Care or Savannah Court's right for you. If not, I have plenty of other communities that might be a better fit, depending on your needs and the needs of your parents. Thank you so much. I'm Josh Swanson with Orlando Senior Transitions. Have a great day.